What's up, everyone? It's time for our digital huddle today. And again, we are in the book of unreasonable hospitality. And I'm still taking some thoughts from chapter one. Chapter one is such a good chapter with so much meat in it. And I want to start off with some of these thoughts that I think will improve our leadership here at the church and how we reach people for Christ, but it'll also help you, I believe, in your workplace and in your family. And I want you to be able to chew on these things and use them and be able to grow in every area of your life. I know it's challenging me in every area of my life, so I hope it's doing the same for you. And so today is if we're going to truly show hospitality over just serving or just leading, if we're going to show hospitality, what does that mean? Well, here's one of the phrases that you've probably heard before. It's been around forever. But in the book, it talks about the phrase that people will forget what you said, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. That's true, isn't it? People are going to forget over time the words that you said, but they'll never forget the way that you made them feel. And the way you make them feel comes from all these different scenarios. It's not just the things that you said. So take the church situation, it's not just the message or the worship, it's all of the things. How do we make them feel? One of the things I say so oftentimes is I hope that you felt like family. And I hope that you felt at home here at GC. You know, to feel at home, it starts in the parking lot, doesn't it? It starts with our parking team, and those guys, man, it doesn't matter what the weather is or what the team looks like that day, or if they have enough people or not enough, or if the flag broke or whatever. It doesn't matter. Those guys are just always smiling. And because of that, that's the entry point right there, right? And then we get to the doors and we get the VIP teams and all of those guys and host teams, and they're welcoming you and smiling and joyfully showing me like where the coffee shop is. And I walk in and then there's a coffee shop, and those guys are just like, spinning bottles of syrups and throwing them in, and it's just a fun place. But how are we making people feel? Because it's so much more important how we make them feel, because that's what they'll remember even more so than the words that we said. And so in that, a couple points that I thought were so great in chapter one is that one of the things is that small gestures create big loyalty. Small gestures create big loyalty. And so many times we think it goes the other way. Like we think that big gestures create big loyalty, but really small gestures create big loyalty. I think about my kids. I can go and I could throw this massive birthday party for my boys, right? When it's their birthday, I could drop hundreds of dollars and get bounce houses and do all these things. And it's not like bad if I get on a bounce house, or it's not bad if I throw a big party for them. I'm not trying to say that if you did those things. But small gestures create big loyalty. You know what speaks even bigger to my sons is whenever I stop being busy and I go play a game with them, or whenever I spend the time to interact with them, or to ask them about the game that they're playing, or learn about some of the things that they're doing at school, or to spend time with them. These small gestures create big loyalty. Those are going to be actually the things that are memories that they actually bring later on too, right? We were talking about this in our staff. Pastor Melissa is one of the best people at this. I've never seen anyone as good at this as her. But every time one of our staff members has a birthday or an anniversary or their work anniversary, she always has a card for them, and we celebrate them in our staff meetings. And it's those small gestures that create big loyalty, right? The other thing is this I want you to think about. This was the next thought in chapter one that I thought was so good, that I got so much out of, is that culture is built in every interaction. Culture is built in every interaction. We have a lot of interactions in our life, and if you've ever been in interactions with me, you know I love to talk about church. It's been a part of my life for most of my life, and at all times I could talk about church and God's house and the importance of it, how much I love it, and what I want to do reaching people. I love talking about it. And culture is built in every interaction. We don't have to just have a culture talk, or we don't have to just have a huddle where we teach about culture, or a message where we teach about culture, or pick the right book that teaches culture. We don't have to just do it in those avenues. What if all of your conversations taught culture? Because so much more is caught than it is taught, isn't it? People are watching how you interact. People are watching how you handle tough situations. People are watching all the things that you do, the smile on your face, and all the things behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. They're watching you. And culture is caught not just taught. And so what if we can really make sure that every conversation we have is intentional? What if we can really make sure that every interaction we have is intentional? Because at all times, what if you realized that you were teaching culture? At all times, I'm teaching my kids about culture. I know I just used them as an example the last time, but I'm going to use them again. At all times, my sons are watching me, aren't they? And if I get frustrated, how did I act out in my frustration? They're watching. That's teaching culture, isn't it? It's teaching how to act in that situation. If I stub my toe and say something I shouldn't say, what's that teaching them, right? They're watching this. And it goes the same with everything else in your life. When you're at work right now, are you on social media? You're just going through Facebook constantly and your coworkers see that? You're teaching culture. If you're the boss, especially people below you, you can expect them to have these other levels of excellence if you yourself are showing them with your actions that you can do that, right? So what is it? How are we going to do this? How are we going to change this? Because we need to understand that every situation we have, every interaction we have is teaching culture. So what kind of culture do we want to teach? What kind of culture do we want to be taught from our life? And so that's my challenges today, because people will truly remember how you made them feel over the things that you said. And so I really want us to be challenged by that. I want us to think about how we can apply that into our life this week. I want us to think about how we can apply that into our serving this week at the church, and think about how you can apply it to your workplace. I just really think that we could be the light of Christ in all areas of our life, and really truly understanding that every part of our life, we're teaching culture, we are reflecting God at all times, and people are watching. I truly believe that we could change the world around us. And so look, I'm so excited. We're going to have, tonight is a special night here at GC. Right now it's Thursday, just so you guys know. Thursday night, right now, we are having, in just a little bit, a karaoke night for kids with special needs. And so that's a really cool thing that we're doing. And I'm excited about that. And then this weekend is going to be a phenomenal weekend as Pastor Ben continues our series about some of the things that Jesus says that sometimes can make us uncomfortable. So make sure you're there. Invite someone to be with you. Let's be ready to serve like crazy. I can't wait to see you guys this weekend.